Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Today, let me show you how to import and export from the Contacts app on your Mac. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 800 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. Now, I often get asked about how to import new contacts or export all of your contacts from the Contacts app on your Mac. I want to talk about both of them here because it's easier to demonstrate one if you see how the other works. In fact, I'm going to start with exporting. So even if what you want to do is import, it's important that you see what I'm doing when exporting so you can properly import contacts from another source. Now first, let me point out that if you want to export or import using the standard vcard format, then it's really easy. You can select one contact or many. You can go to File and export vcard. Or you can simply drag and drop. Dragging and dropping to the Finder will create a vcard file, VCF. And this is a standard format that will work with other apps not only on the Mac but on other systems as well. But if you want to get them out into some sort of readable file, something where you can manipulate them, say in numbers, then it's a little different. If you go to File, Export, your only options are the vcard format or a special contacts format that you can't really use for much else. Usually you want to get these into some sort of spreadsheet so you can actually do something with the data. It looks like it's impossible to do, but there's one trick to it, and if you don't already know the trick you're going to be amazed. I'm going to go and run numbers, and then I'm going to create a new number spreadsheet, just a blank spreadsheet here. So now I've got this blank spreadsheet. It would be great to be able to get these contacts into this spreadsheet. Here's how you do it. Select the contacts you want. I'm going to shift click to select them all. Then you simply drag and drop, and look at this. They all import into the table that you've dropped them into. The table even expands its size to accommodate, and if you had no table there it would actually create a table. So just dragging and dropping from the Contacts app into Numbers works great. Here you can see I've got a header row that has all of the field names and most of the data is there. It's not perfect. I've noticed that some data is usually missing. Like for instance, there's at least one contact here that has a Twitter account listed and that's not exported. But for the most part you get phone numbers, email addresses, physical addresses, names, and other bits of information. Even the image is imported into Numbers as the background for a cell here. So that's it. You can now go and shorten up this table if you need to, or get rid of some columns that you don't necessarily want. And you could save this as a numbers spreadsheet, or you can export it to a variety of formats like CSV or Excel. It's really that easy. Now the reason I wanted to show you exporting before importing is that if you want to import, you can go to File, Import, and the format that you need is a CSV file. That stands for comma separated variables. And it's a spreadsheet format that you can create in apps like Numbers. But what's that supposed to look like? How do you build a spreadsheet table that will actually import properly into Contacts? Well, you don't have to wonder about that because by exporting first I now have a great example of exactly what the table needs to look like. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look through the columns and delete the ones that I really don't care about. So for instance, maybe I want to import a bunch of people's contacts and I don't have work addresses, just home addresses for them. So I can select these columns here and delete the selected columns. I could delete whatever else I find is unnecessary, like maybe this image column here as well, since I won't have that data. Now I can clear out the sample data here that I got when exporting. And now I have a table ready to fill in. So here now I've added some data to it. Let me shorten this table up now. I've just got 2 names in here, but you could be importing hundreds of names, perhaps from a previous contacts database that you had, perhaps maybe from something you've gotten from a company or organization. So it's all just a matter of working in the spreadsheet here to make sure the proper information is in the proper place. Get that all squared away. And then save this file so you have the original numbers spreadsheet. Then you want to export it. Go to File, Export to, and CSV. That comma separated variables format I talked about. You shouldn't include the table names and there's no advanced options to choose. Just select Next and export it as a CSV. Now the thing about CSV files is they're just text files. So I could control click on it, select Open With, and let's open it in TextEdit to see what we've got. This is all it is. It's basically every row of the spreadsheet with commas separating each cell in the row. You could actually go and edit this text file right here in TextEdit if you wanted to. Now let's bring it in. I'm going to go to File, Import. Then I'm going to select the CSV file. I'm going to use Open and I get this interesting little interface here. It's going to show me the fields in the Contacts app and then what it finds in my CSV file. And I can compare them back and forth to make sure they're what I want. So here it's looking at the first row, which was all of the headings. So I could see here, for instance, that the last name goes to my last name column. First name goes to my first name column. And I can compare all the way down the list. Now I don't want to import that first row, so I want to select Ignore First Card. And then I could use this arrow here to go over one and see how the first contact looks. Last name, first name, phone number, email, that all matches up. I can look at the second one. I can go through them all if I want. And if something's out of place I can simply click Cancel, go back to my number spreadsheet, adjust it, export a CSV again, and keep doing that until everything is satisfactory. When I've got everything the way I want I just click OK here and now you can see it imports those two contacts. And here is each entry. So it worked just fine. Now if your goal is to actually create something you can print out or view as a PDF, then you don't have to use any of that. You don't have to go to Numbers or export them or anything. Just go to File and then Print. And if you don't see too many options here, click Show Details. And then you get all these options. Make sure you select the style, lists. Mailing labels or envelopes, of course, give you those things. But a list will give you a nice list of things from your contacts. You can select exactly what you want. So for instance I can have phone number, email address, not the photo, not the job title, and just leave it like that. I could adjust the font size, I could change the orientation, and I could print this out or save it as a PDF. I publish new tutorials every weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Then hit the little bell icon to get notifications for each new tutorial.